Hi everyone, welcome to the Clock Tower Thrift Shop. A lot of good deals to be made here. Look at that, it's like a Bryce Harper bust. That's pretty appropriate because he was a bust here, but it's made in China though. We got all kinds of miniatures here. Matchbox. See if we got any Batmobiles in there somewhere. Some old toys. Look at this. Pretty cool toy. Look at that. Where you can practice your golf while you're while you're taking a shit. That's pretty cool. Maybe I'll buy that. It's only $3. Oh, I got all these songbooks here. You light up my life. Sheet music. Got all kinds of books. Check this out. George W. Bush and Laura Bush. And it's autographed, signed right there. With best wishes, Laura Bush and George W. Bush. It's pretty cool. Maybe I'll get that, but it's $15. I think I've just about checked everything out here, so I think I'll go. Okay. There's another Goodwill down the street. I'll check them out before I leave.
The next day.
Okay, this is my next project, my next masterpiece. This will be turned into a Washington Redskins throwback helmet, the one with the spear on the side. I just buffed it and painted it, and now I'm going to polish it with this wax for cars, but it'll work for this thing too. So it'll be nice and shiny. It's shiny now, but with this, it'll be even shinier and even cooler. Look at my helmet display. I added the light on top there, and now it's coming down. And it's giving it a big dramatic lighting effect there. See that? Oh my lordy! Oh my lordy! It's pretty cool. And here's my newest acquisition. It's a John Riggins McFarlane figure sitting on my shelf here, and I put the light on top to shine on John Riggins there, and it looks very cool. And this is my Daryl Green figure. No light yet, but I ran out of lights. I'm gonna put a light over here too, so it shines down on Daryl Green. All right, I got all the parts here, the pads and the hardware. It's ready to be put back into the helmet, and I've got the decal here somewhere that goes on the side, and then we'll start doing it. All right, now I got most of the pads in there. Most of the pads and all the hardware has been attached, and now I'm going to stick this this decal on the side, and that's the most important thing. I haven't done the cheek pads yet, but I'll do that later. Almost there. Hopefully it'll work out. Alright, we got one side done. No problem. One side is done. Now, to do the other side. Hopefully it'll work. Alright, now we got the other side, and it's... I'd like to think it's all even with the other side. The spears on one side and the spear on the other side. And it's looking good so far. Yep. Looking good. Now I just need to put the face mask on, but I also need to attach this because it's coming off. I'm going to use double-sided tape. And I am pretty much done. All I need to do is stick on the chin strap, but it's pretty much all done. Look at that. Another masterpiece by moi. Washington Redskins throwback helmet. Yes, sir. Hail to the Redskins. And there you go, finished, completed, everything is cool now. Look at that, Washington Redskins throwback helmet. Alright, just a few more finishing touches I need to make, like I need to put maybe decals in the back, maybe number 9, somewhere here, number 9, maybe the American flag, NFL decal, but it's pretty much done, as you can see. It's pretty much done. Beautiful. It's beautiful. Look at that. Beautiful. Yes, sir. There it is. Washington Redskins throwback helmet. Beautiful. Beautiful. There it is. My latest masterpiece. Washington Redskins throwback helmet. Oh yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Latest masterpiece right there. This will be proudly put on display. There you go. It even fits me. Red 98. Red 98. Set. Hot. Yep, back here again at Play It Again Sports. As usual, I'm here to find some more used cheap football helmets to turn into Redskin helmets. So let's go in there and see what they got. Yeah, unfortunately they were out of the ones I wanted. I had wanted a specific kind of model, like a Riddell Speed or Speed Flex or a Victor, but they said somebody came in a couple weeks ago and cleaned them all out. So I just got this one here. This one is a nice helmet. Look at this. That's nice. Let me show it to you. Well, I bought another football helmet here at Play It Again Sports. This is an old Schutt helmet, but it kind of looks like a Riddell Pro line, like an old school helmet from the 80s. So maybe I'll turn it into a Redskin helmet from the 80s. It looks kind of nice. All I have to do is peel off the labels. There's no labels in the back to peel off, so that's good. Yeah, I think that'll work. Oh, I also bought this Riddell chin strap. Actually, I didn't buy it. They just gave it to me. This I got for $25. See that? 25 bucks, man. Not too bad, huh? All right, I'm back at the. This is a thrift store here in Leesburg. Sometimes I buy stuff here, but this is too far. I try not to go here too much because it's a little far. Sometimes they have good stuff here. Sometimes they do. There's some frames. I'm always looking for frames for my prints. And that one's kind of nice. If it's 11 by 17, I'll buy it. 14 bucks though. This is $5. Okay, here we are at the Hobby Lobby here in Leesburg. I'll check and see if they have anything I can buy, like display cases. See if it's half off. Sometimes it's half off. So let's go in there and check it out. Well, here's what I bought at the Hobby Lobby. They were all 50% off, so why not? I took advantage of the half off deal. Here's a basketball display case. I could probably put my Daryl Green figurine in there. Here's a football display case. That'll be perfect for 2 mini helmets. Yeah. And speaking of mini helmets, I got one mini helmet box, display box. It was on sale. It was $8, so they're regularly $15, so I bought it here at the Hobby Lobby. That's my Hobby Lobby haul. Hello everyone, welcome back to Washington, D.C. It is October 6, 2020. It's a Tuesday, and the weather is beautiful today. Bright and sunny in the 70s. A beautiful day to be out and about. Today we are going to a very historic place here in Washington, D.C. It is a place that is very, very historic in the history of not just Washington, D.C., but the history of the United States. It is a very historic place for this whole country, and today we are going there. Just making a left down here on F Street, and we're going to go there now. Here's the old Woody's. Remember Woody's? Woody's was a huge department store back in the day, but they went out of business a few years ago. But as you can see, they still have the sign. See? They still have the Woody's sign. Woodward and Lothrop was a big, huge department store that was popular several years ago, but they went out of business. But this building is historic, and they still have the Woodward and Lothrop sign. Look. Still have the Woodward and Lothrop signage up here, which I can't see on my monitor. See? Historic Woodward and Lothrop building here in downtown DC. Yep, this is where all the Woodies used to be. I'm old enough to remember Woodies and stuff shop there. April 14th, 1865 was the date. The place, Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. is a date that would be the most tragic date, one of the most tragic dates in American history. For it is the day that one of our greatest leaders, one of our greatest presidents, was killed or was shot, assassinated, right here at Ford's Theater by a famous actor named John Wilkes Booth. John Wilkes Booth was a famous actor who really hated the Republican president. Sound familiar? Anyway, welcome to Ford's Theater, everyone. This is the Peterson House right across the street from Ford's Theater. On April 14, 1865, after John Wilkes Booth shot Abraham Lincoln, he didn't die immediately. They moved the president across the street to this house where he lay for a couple of days before finally succumbing to his wounds. This is the house where Abraham Lincoln died, the Peterson House. Now it's a museum, but obviously it's closed now because of COVID. But we can take a look outside, see what it looks like out here. Yeah, this is the Peterson House here across the street from Ford's Theater. As you can see, Ford's Theater is right across the street here. After the president was shot, he was taken over to this house, to the Peterson House, and he was treated valiantly by the doctors, but they couldn't save him. He died a few days later of blood loss, and funnily enough, he had a premonition of his death, that he would die, and it came true. And here is where he would die, here at the Peterson House. Obviously it's closed because of COVID. Usually they have tours here, Ford Theater tours. You take the tour with Ford Theater and then you move on to the Peterson House and take a tour of the Peterson House. But today it's closed. It's been closed for several months, obviously because of COVID. This is the Peterson House, now a museum right across the street from Ford's Theater. This is where President Lincoln was taken after he was shot by John Wilkes Booth at Ford's Theater. And this is where the doctors tried to treat him, but to no avail. He died of the extreme gunshot wound to the head a few days later. This is a historic place, not just in Washington, D.C. history, but also American history. April 14th, 1865, Ford's Theater, Washington, D.C. Our President Abraham Lincoln was watching a play called Our American Cousin when one famous actor named John Wilkes Booth, who was sympathetic of the South and really hated President Lincoln, came out of nowhere and shot President Lincoln point blank in the back of the head. And then he proceeded to jump over the balcony onto the stage, breaking his foot in the process, and he went through the back and escaped through the back. He knew his way around because he was an actor and he worked here, and I guess he found this opportunity to kill the man that he hated. And he got away. And you'd think that committing such a heinous act like that, he wouldn't be able to get away, right? But he was able to get away because he knew his way around the theater. And he was able to go to the back and escape. There was his horse waiting in the back, and he was able to escape with that. How did he escape? I'm going to show you how he escaped and what route he took to escape. Let's go. Here are the memorial bricks right in front of Ford Theater, as you can see. There's literally hundreds of them out here. Right here on the sidewalk, right in front of Ford's Theater over here. That's the old signage of Ford's Theater. Right there. Let's go to the back of the theater where I will show you how John Wilkes Booth was able to escape. He was actually able to escape to his compatriots in Virginia, and he went to a friend's house. His friend was called Mary Surratt, and later on, when they were caught, they were all hanged. All the conspirators, John Wilkes Booth, even Mary Surratt was hanged because she aided the escape of John Wilkes Booth. Yep, can't just kill the president and get away with it. Anyway, let's go around the corner here. Let's go to this alleyway and I'll show you how John Wilkes Booth escaped. I actually saw a play here at Ford's Theater once, a long time ago. Back in the 80s, I saw a play called Nonsense here. And yeah, I was able to go in the theater. I was able to see the booth or the balcony where President Lincoln was shot. And it was a nice time. It was a long time ago, but I haven't seen a play here since. But anyway, let's go over to the place here. And let me show you how John Wilkes Booth made his escape. Here is the alleyway that leads to the back of Ford's Theater. And this is how John Wilkes Booth was able to make his escape down here. You can see it? Yeah, down here. And we are going to go down there and reenact his escape. Okay? Okay, let's go. Let's go now. All right, go down the alleyway here. See, back then, back in 1865, this was just a dusty alleyway. And all these were, it's actually not office buildings back then, these were houses. These were houses. Like low-income houses where the poor would live. And if we make a right over here, you'll be able to see that that's Ford's Theater right there. That's Ford's Theater. And John Wilkes Booth exited through this exit back here. This is the back exit of Ford's Theater. And over here is another back exit right there. This is Ford's Theater. And here is the back exit. I imagine he had like horses waiting here, where he was able to make his escape back into Virginia. Yeah, he came out of this door and his horse was waiting right here. He rode his horse and then rode off and escaped to with his friends. See all these buildings here. These wasn't buildings back then. These were houses. People lived here. This was a dusty road. People lived in here in these houses, and that's how they were able to witness John Wilkes Booth escape. That's what they told the police. They saw John Wilkes Booth come out here and just race down the alleyway and out into the street, and then out into his freedom. But it was a short-lived freedom because he was caught a few days later in a farmhouse in Virginia, and then he was put on trial and executed along with his cohorts. Exit of Ford's Theater. Ford's Theater, the front is on the front. This is where John Wilkes Booth made his escape. Because he was an actor, he was a famous actor, and he worked here, and he knew his way around. That's why he was able to get away so easily. He came out here and he had his ride, his horse, waiting out here, and then he rode off to escape to Virginia, where he held out for a few days before he was cornered by the army and in a barn in Virginia, and he was captured and tried and executed. Such is the fate of assassins. Okay, let's reenact his escape from Ford's Theater. So he would have gone out this door here and would have hopped on his horse right here, and he would have raced off down the alleyway. Of course, he would have been doing it faster, but we're just kind of casually walking. See, these would all be houses. People would be hanging out in their porches over here and seeing all this happening and say, hey, here's that famous actor John Wilkes Booth. Where's he going so fast? And little did they know that he was running fast or on his horse fast because he was trying to escape. Because he had just killed the president or just shot the president. And so he ran down this hallway here. Maybe he went that way. No, I'm thinking he ran down this hallway here, and this alleyway here. Escaped out into the street, out on East Street right there. And that's how he was able to get away. That's how he was able to get away. Right down the street, right down the alleyway here. Out into the street. Out into East Street. And this is how we escaped. See, when you're out here, you're out in the street, you can go left or right and nobody will catch you. But then they tracked him down, of course, and put him on trial. Well, this is the modern day entrance of Ford's Theater, but as you can see, it's closed. No theater, no performances, not for the last 6 months. Maybe next year, 2021, they'll open it up again. Right now, it's closed. Nothing. What were they showing before they closed? They were showing Guys and Dolls. That's a great show, Guys and Dolls. Ever seen that? You seen the movie? Based on a musical? That's a great show. I recommend it a lot. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was it. That was our little historical field trip to Ford's Theater. I hope you were able to learn a few things from that about history, about Washington, D.C. history, presidential history, and of course, American history. As we walk through Lafayette Square, across from the White House, and there's a lot of weird characters in front of the White House. A lot of press, who I consider also a weird character, in addition to all the other regular weird characters in front of the White House these days. And yeah, I haven't had lunch yet, so I'm going to go get lunch somewhere over here. Thank you for watching. And as usual, Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, because as my friend Imo would say, it helps the channel to grow. And it would be nice if you could focus on me, if the channel would grow.